Aki and PAWPAW is a story of two young boys living with their uncle and his wife. Tired of being maltreated and looked down upon, these boys decide to make every effort to make it in life by fair or foul means. The story starts with these two boys visiting a shrine mistakenly, as they probably thought their friend him was sending them somewhere they could actually make money. Unknown to them, they actually had to enter a shrine, and that was when they decided to opt out. Then they were asked to sign or to swear an oath of silence. The funny thing is, quickly after that scene, the story opened with the two boys living a good life, being hailed and treated like royalty. Then suddenly they wake up on their mat being poured water by their uncle's wife, who was trying to wake them up. I was just confused as to how these two scenes had to start and how they really related. But well, these boys apparently were from their village to try to live a better life in the city. They really did their best to hustle their way through to make it. They went from forcefully taking customers' change to stealing so that they can be able to gather some money to give to somebody that promised he was going to make them rich. They gathered all their savings, everything they could lay hand on, only to realize that this was a scam. That was a big blow to them, but it didn't stop them. The boys were determined to make it. On the flip side was a famous influencer with his manager, who was his backbone. He didn't respect her. Panshak treated his manager Samantha like trash. Samantha was the brain behind Panshak's blowing up and all, but he had no regard for her. So some way, somehow, Samantha discovered these two boys, made a video casually of them, put them online, and that became the big blow for them. They went viral. Samantha didn't tell them and kept recording them secretly, using them for brand deals on their blind side. So long story short, these two boys find out and they decide to make money out of it. That is where they realize that fame, money, had more to it than it actually meets the eye. If you've watched to this point, kindly drop the comment, the legendary Aki and PAWPAW. Write in the comment section, the legendary Aki and PAWPAW. Let's wow them. If I'm to rate this movie, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. Well, I wasn't so impressed with the movie. It was a good one, don't get me wrong, but I had a lot of expectations for it, especially for the cast and or the fact that it has gotten so much hype and all. So I really had expectations for it, but I gave it a 5 out of 10 because it was a good story put together. At least you could pick a few lessons in there, especially if you're in the media sector, and generally in life you could pick a few lessons from it. And the fact that it brought fond childhood memories, you could reminisce on some past and fond Aki and PAWPAW moments back in the days. So it really brought some of those times because they tried to portray that jovial, troublesome Aki and PAWPAW here and there, and it was a good one. But generally, I wasn't so wowed. Character development wasn't very clear to me. A lot of the characters were not well developed. Take Samantha, for instance. We knew that she was a blogger and she came from the same village as these two. But how did she end up with Panshak? What is her background? How come she has so much loyalty to Panshak? What special something did he do for her? And then we go to the father of Aki and PAWPAW. When they got to the village, Aki and PAWPAW were asking their father if he wasn't angry at them, and then he was like, why is he supposed to be angry after they have made it and succeeded in life? And then I asked myself, what did they do for their father to be so angry at them? We needed to know, we needed to have a quick background of that. And then to AKI and PAWPAW themselves. I was surprised how the main characters were not so developed. We just didn't get to have a background of why and how they decided to move from the village. What incident occurred to let them leave the village, and then they had to return, and they were surprised everybody was happy with them. That should tell you that while they were in the village, they weren't accepted by everybody. So what were some of the things that happened? If we could get a little background on that, it would have really helped to appreciate these characters. Again, the story was a bit all over the place for me. There were a lot of things I was expecting them to just go straight to the point. But as usual, I didn't really falls them so much because it's an AKI and PAWPAW film. When you remember back in the days, AKI and PAWPAW film has always been chaotic and all. Take for instance, close to the ending, you catch fraudsters, scammers who have scammed a lot of people of millions of naira. They move from place to place, and these people are trying to get an endorsement deal from you. You find out that your brother is going to sign a deal with them. What do? You call the police on them, getting to arrest them so that they do their investigation. Rather, they had to go and call gang, they had to threaten them. I just felt all that was a bit needless, and they just needed to do the needful. And then now they had to look for plan B, another plan B. It was a bit so much for me, and I just had to be like, okay, well, it's AKI and PAWPAW, so probably you don't have to expect so much from them. But on the whole, it was entertaining, and that's the least we can say about it. It was very entertaining. You find yourself giggling here and there. It wasn't the usual very funny, extremely funny AKI and PAWPAW, but yeah, it was very entertaining. It brought a lot of fun memories, and it was a good film. I love the character of Stan Nze playing this cousin of Samantha Dodo. He was more of one of the most entertaining persons for me. His character was very interesting to me. Needless to say, this was a good movie. Go watch it on Netflix and come, let's talk about it. The name still remains Mami Amnabukia. Kindly hit the subscribe button and let's grow this channel.